it will become polluted. And I have seen with my own eyes that the Dalit laborer asked water, and my neighbor who is a upper caste Brahmin lady, she refused, and that boy has to go to hand pump. हमारे बिहार में हैंड पंप होता है, हैंड पंप, वी कॉल इट चापाकल. He has to go to चापाकल and he has to drink water like this. So this is the reality. So the Kashmiris को रूम नहीं दिया जाएगा. So our understanding is very much colored by that homogenization. Homogenized. Look, everybody is the same. Everybody is same. Every Muslim civilized. So the second big challenge is homogenization. How to counter that homogenization? Muslims are as good, yeah, as bad as any other community. Muslims can help you. Muslims can cheat you. Muslims can be your friend. That Muslims cannot be your friend. But we should never look at Muslims with the same color. And you know, among Muslims, those who do some sociology, the RSS and the BJP will never tell you that there is a difference among the Muslims community. I want to tell you, because this is the reality. This is not true of only Muslims. This is true of any community. Christians, let's say Buddhists, let's say Hindu, more or less, they are all divided. See, Kashmiri Muslims, their way of living, their khan pan, their food, their cuisine, very different from Kerala ka Muslims. Bihari Muslim, very different from, let's say, Deccan ka Muslims. They are divided over language, they are divided over caste, they are divided over class, they are divided over region. So we have all the differences with them. The idea of feeling superior, caste is never justified by Islam, theoretically speaking, because Islam talks about, our Quran, the Holy Quran talks about all human beings to be equal. But in practice, if you are a Sayyid, you believe that you are superior. Some sense of superiority is there. It's a fact. And it's a fact. Not everybody is believing like this, but yes, you cannot also deny this fact that nobody believes it. So the Muslims community is as good or as bad as any other community. You know, several communist leaders, they have come from the Muslims community. Film stars, they have come from the Muslim community. We generally believe that Muslims are against music. The orthodox understanding, Muslims are against music. In my area, in my village, in my area from where I come from, it is East Champaran district, where Champaran Satyagraha took place in 1917. The Champaran Satyagraha, in my area, those who are playing band baja, they are all Muslims. Those who are making the idol of Saraswati Mata, they are all Muslims. So आप कैसे कह सकते हैं कि मुस्लिम्स ऐसे हैं और मुस्लिम्स वैसे हैं? So the homogenization, I told you some pillars of Islamophobia. उस pillar को हमको तोड़ना है. You have to break that pillar. First is distortion of history. If you just remove one pillar, distortion of history, if you just remove it, that Islamophobic discourse will start shaking. The second is homogenization. Break it. Use sociological perspective. Do not believe in homogenization. It's not like that. The interest of Muslims of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar is not the same. The language used by the Muslims in Kerala is not the same which the language is used by the Muslims in Bengal. So the Muslim problem has to be seen from sociological point of view, from historical point of view. It should not be seen from communal point of view. Now, so these two things are important. I want to bring to you one great intellectual, Talal Asad, his work, his very important article, and then I will finish it. If you have any question, if you have any clarification, or if you think that I have gone wrong, please write it down in the comment. I will read it out with your name, because whatever I am saying, this is just my view. I do not say that I monopolize the truth. And here I would like to give the summary of Talal Asad. He is a great intellectual, anthropologist, sociologist. the Talal Asad teaches at one of the American university. His father is very well-known Islamic scholar. So his father name is Muhammad Asad. Muhammad Asad was from one of the countries of the Europe. I think he was Jews. He was born a Jew, and he became very inspired by Islam. And he wrote a book that you can download it. It is available. Wonderful book, Road to Makkah, where he has recounted. He has shared his experience why he became Muslim. So the book is available. Road to Makkah, Muhammad Asad. And later he got associated with Pakistani radio, and he was also somehow associated with Pakistan, let's say public relations officer. So basically he was a great journalist, great writer, a Jew who later become influenced by Islam, got converted to it. And I am telling you, the book is with me behind myself. I can show you the Road to Makkah. If you read Road to Makkah, you will see that how beautifully this book is written. So Muhammad Asad's son is Talal Asad, and he wrote a very important article that is called The Idea of an Anthropology of Islam. That article is very important, and I am also borrowing my ideas heavily from his work. This book this article is republished in one book. I want to give you the reference, the Anthropology of Islam Reader, Ruthless publication 2012. So you can just find it, you can Google it, you will get it. His article, Talal Asad, Talal Asad, Asad, the idea of Islam. So basically, Talal Asad's ideas can be very helpful to understand Islam and to not make those mistakes. He's basically saying that Islam or any religion or any reality or any social formation or any event should not be read and should not be essentialized, he is saying basically. The first thing he is warning against is that do not essentialize anything while writing or doing any work. Do not essentialize. And this essentialization is very much linked with what Edward Said is saying, creating a binary, acha or bura, good and bad, good and evil, black and white, forward looking and backward looking, regressive and progressive, secular and fundamentalist. That binary should be discarded, should be done away with. Similarly, no homogenization. Do not look at any particular community with your prejudice mind. And this is also linked with this idea: do not essentialize. Do not essentialize. So the question is, how should we not essentialize? What should we do that our writing should not appear, should not look like essentialized writing? So he is saying that when you are reading anything, religion, if you are reading any historical formation, read that historical condition in relation to political economy. You read it from the point of view of the political economy. You read it, that incident from historical, political point of view, and you should be careful about capturing the different shifts. And I want to give you one example to elaborate this point. What is this different shift? When we read something, we should not miss the different shift, the different trends in that. For example, have you seen the film Hina? Or have you seen Rishi Kapoor's movies in 1960s and 70s? You see how Kashmir is depicted in Rishi Kapoor's movie. परदेसियों से ना आँखियाँ मिलाना, परदेसियों को होता है जाना. So if you read the film of 1916 and 70s about the Kashmir, कभी कभी मेरे दिल में ख्याल आता है. आई थिंक इट इज ऑल्सो पिक्चराइज समवेयर इन अमिताभ बच्चन का मूवीज इन कश्मीर ऑल्सो. देर आर मेनी मूवीज. आई डोंट नो मच. इफ आई मेड सम मिस्टेक प्लीज पार्डन मी. सो व्हेन यू गो एंड यू लुक एट एंड यू सी द movie, you will find the Kashmiri people is projected as very innocent. They are living in the lap of nature. They are very good-hearted people, very close to nature, very original, not being corrupted by modernity and सर के शोर गुल से दूर. You will have that image. बिल्कुल जो बिल्कुल सीधा सादा लोग होते हैं, दिल से बात करते हैं, ऐसे लोग आपको मिलेंगे. But if you see the movies, if you see Hena film 1989, what is this Hena film? Rishi Kapoor, the film is made by Raj Kapoor Sahab, the late Raj Kapoor Sahab. Rishi Kapoor is going to engage with a lady the day or the night, but an accident happens and he somehow get carried away in Sailab or in flood. He crosses the boundary, he goes to Pakistan, and in Pakistan, when he reaches Pakistan, he got so much injured that he lost his memory, and then he was taken care by the tribals there in the Pakistan. The Pakistani police is also very suspicious that who is this person, but Pakistani tribals, वहाँ के जो लोग थे, they took care of them. And then the heroine of the film, Hina, is a lady, is a woman from the tribal community. She falls in love with Rishi Kapoor, but Rishi Kapoor, the Indian, Chandar, I think his name is Chandar, he became conscious later and he wanted to go to India back because he wanted to marry his fiancée. And then he goes, and then somehow the Pakistan intelligence and Pakistan police also comes into the picture, and the Pakistani police thinks that he's a spy of India, and somehow Hina faces the bullet. She sacrificed not only her love but also her life, and she saves Chandar, she saves an Indian, और वो हिंदुस्तानी भारत में वापस चला जाता है. and then Hina says that गोली जो होता है, bullet, it kills only human being, it doesn't give life. That is such a humanistic angle of a story I am telling you. मगर आप आज के फिल्म में क्या बनते हैं? कश्मीर टेररिज्म, एकदम गोली चलती रहती है. ये है, यहाँ से टेररिस्ट आ गए, यहाँ से लोगों को मारा, ये किया, ऑल द टाइम मिलिट्री, पुलिस, गोली, ये सब चलता है आपके साथ 24 hours. That's from everything from security perspective. One Pakistani spy is coming, the terrorist is coming, that person is doing collaboration with that, so the Kashmir has been turned into a land of bloodbath. The Kashmir has been turned into a people of Pattharbaz. This is called the shifting reality. So when we do history, generally history is also read by people who do civil services, public commissions, and they ratta मारते हैं. गांधी जी का जन्म कब हुआ था? When was Gandhi ji was born? When was Lal Bahadur Shastri was born? When was Ambedkar ji was born? History is not like that. The contribution of the history is to look at any event historically. What do you mean by looking at historically? You go and see the same thing in a different period. And if you go and look at the same thing at different period, you will realize that what is reality today is not the reality 10 years back or 20 years back or 30 years back. Historically speaking, today, if you ask anybody who is fundamentalist, 9 out of 10 will say, okay, this community is Muslims is fundamentalist. But the term fundamentalist, historically speaking, was used in Christendom against the Christian society. It was not earlier used against the Muslims. So how the term what should I say, the term fundamentalism is now used against Muslims. That is called the shifting nature of any context. I have done my PhD on All India Muslim Personal Law Board. Friends, I want to share this. Today, the current regime is saying that we are champion of Muslim rights. Congress party is the champion of Muslim men. Opposition parties are champion of Muslim men. The ruling party is champion of social justice, gender rights. They are projecting it. But dear friends, dear journalists, dear intellectuals, go back to history. Read what RSS leader, RSS chief, Guru Golwalkar has said in 1970s. He said, when the journalist has asked, do you support uniform civil code, which BJP is today supporting? He said, no, we don't support. This country is a country for different cultures, different religions. So there cannot be one religion. So he opposed it. थोड़ा और पीछे जाइए, please go back 20 years back, 20 more years back. In 1950s, you know what has happened? Dr. Ambedkar was the law minister, and he wanted to reform Hindu women law. He wanted to bring in Hindu code bill. Then some people will ask, हिंदू कोड बिल क्यों, मुस्लिम कोड बिल क्यों नहीं? भाई मुस्लिम कोड बिल जो है वो 1937 में आ चुका है. Those who think that मुस्लिम्स के लिए कोई रिफॉर्म्स नहीं हो, प्लीज गो एंड चेक इट. अभी गूगल कीजिए, मुस्लिम पर्सनल लॉ एप्लीकेशन सरिया एक्ट 1937 उनके लिए ऑलरेडी आ चुका था. ठीक है, उसमें और सुधार होनी चाहिए. आई एम नॉट डिनाइंग इट, आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट देयर कैन नॉट बी मोर इम्प्रूवमेंट, बट मुस्लिम्स के लिए भी पर्सनल लॉज उसमें रिफॉर्म्स दैट टुक प्लेस something 15 years back, 1937, factually speaking. Please Google this. Please share it. So what has happened that Ambedkar Sahab wanted to reform it because at that time polygamy माफ कीजिए, polygamy का मतलब एक मर्द कई सारे शादियां कर सकते हैं. It was allowed in Hindu custom. It was allowed because I have seen many of my chachas who have already died, or my dadas in my area. They are two wives. So before that it was a practice. In भगवान राम जो थे, भगवान राम उनके जो पिताजी थे दशरथ जी भी थे, उनकी भी 2-3 शादियां थी. तो ये शादी था. तो अम्बेडकर को ये लगा और बाकी लोगों को लगा कि नो, दैट लॉज हैव टू बी रिफॉर्म्ड बिकॉज नाउ इन अ मॉडर्न सोसाइटी वी कैन नॉट गो विथ polygamy. Another problem was that divorce was not there in Hindu society. Divorce नहीं हो सकता आपका यहाँ पे. It is a जन्मों का संबंध. It is जन्मों का संबंध, 7 जन्मों का संबंध है. That marriage is done not for this life but for 7 lives. This was the concept. But you know, today we say that Muslim personal law is very regressive. The contribution of Islam is divorce because Islam believes that marriage is a contract. एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है. ये जन्मों जन्म का रिश्ता नहीं है. इट्स अ वेरी मॉडर्न कॉन्सेप्ट. कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वी स्टडीड इन पॉलिटिकल साइंस दैट अर्लियर द स्टेट वाज फाउंडेड ऑन द डिवाइन थ्योरी ऑफ किंगशिप. कहने का मतलब है द किंग जस्टिफाइज हिज रूल इन द नेम ऑफ गॉड. जैसे बोलते हैं जिल्ले इलाही, आपने सुना होगा जिल्ले इलाही, भगवान की छाया है. That is the shadow of God. So basically the Zille Ilahi is basically justifying his rule in the name of God. But what has happened in political science, we have after 16th and 17th century a new idea that is called social contract theory. The social contract theory has shifted the foundation of the state on religion or on God टू सोशल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. यानी जनता के बीच में और राजा के बीच में, रूलर के बीच में कुछ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होगा. किस बातें पे राजा क्या करेंगे, प्रजा क्या करेगी. राजा एक काम नहीं करेंगे तो उनको सत्ता से हटा दिया जाएगा. इस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट Contract means that king will have contract with the people, and if king doesn't follow that contract, he can be removed. So it is a very much secular idea. The contract is very much secular idea. Similarly, the Muslim laws, they, or Sharia, they allow husband and wife, if they cannot live together despite all